Hey guys, Lori here with Sew at Peace. So today I'm going to be making another tote bag. So I went to my local quilt shop last week and I found these two fabrics. So this one I was looking for it in a pink color scheme that I have. I think I have some of my products on my website with the pink color scheme like this. I love it because it has a like gold, metallic gold flake in it. You can see it in person. It doesn't really show up too well in on the camera, but they were all out. So unfortunately, they're not getting any more. But they did have this blue one, so I decided to buy it in blue. I also bought this fabric. So when I bought it, I didn't buy it with the intention of making a patchwork quilted tote bag. But when I brought it home, I was looking at it and I thought it would make a really cute patchwork tote bag. I normally don't do that type of tote bag just because they take a lot of time. I'm going to give it a shot. And this is a makeup bag that I made in the same fabric. I don't know if you can see just how pretty it is, but I really like it. This is not on my website yet, but I will be putting it on my website next week, most likely. Let's get to it. So I'm starting off by cutting my main fabric. So I'm cutting 6-inch strips on both patterns, and then I'm cutting them 6 inches wide. So they're 6 by 6, same size squares that I used in my last tote bag tutorial. So I'm just laying it all out just to make sure that I like the size and I like the pattern. Then I sew all of my squares together. Then when I have a row done, I sew each row together and I just open up my seams. And then here I'm just top stitching each seam. So I'm sewing on either side of the seam. So I'm doing that both vertically and horizontally. I laid out my main fabric on my cutting mat to take the measurements. It came out to 22 inches by 33 inches. So that's what I'm cutting my lining piece to. And for the pocket, all I did was take what was left over of the lining piece that I cut. It came out to about 9 by 20 inches. So when the pocket was finished, it came out to 8.5 by 10.5 inches. I'm sewing each side of the lining piece, leaving a 5/8 inch inseam, and I left a gap in the side to flip the project right side out. I left about 5 inches. The next step is the straps. So I cut those 2.5 inches wide by 24 inches, and I cut 2 of these with the main fabric. So I added fusible fleece to the inside. The fusible fleece is cut 24 inches by 2 inches. You're going to sew on each side about 1/4 inch on either side. And then you're going to flip the straps right side out. And then you're going to sew along each edge of the strap. So top stitch on each side. Then you're going to attach your straps to your bag. My apologies, my camera died, so I couldn't record that portion, but I just centered it on my bag and left about 7 inches between each strap. And you're going to sew them facing down, so straps will not be up, because when you flip it, it'll go to the right side. Here I'm just sewing 5/8 inch inseam on each side of my main fabric. You will not leave a gap since you left a gap in your lining piece. I wasn't able to show where I cut out the box corners, but all I did was measure out 2 inches, 2 3/4 inches, and cut out the squares, and then I boxed them, and then we're just sewing 5/8 inch inseams on those as well. So we're doing both the main piece and the lining piece. We are going to flip the main piece right side out, and then we're going to put that inside the lining piece, but lining piece is going to be wrong side out. So you're going to place that in there and make sure the straps are tucked inside. You don't want those out because your bag will not turn out correctly. And then you're going to pin all around the entire perimeter or you can clip. I like to use clips. And then you're gonna sew along the entire edge. Once you're done, you're gonna flip your bag right side out through that hole that you left on the side piece of the lining. Then you're gonna close the seam. So you're gonna make sure that those seams are tucked in, and then you're gonna sew along the very edge just to close up that hole. Then you're gonna tuck your lining inside the bag and top stitch along the whole top of the bag. Hey guys, I'm all done with my tote bag. So this is the final product. I think it turned out really cute. It's really big, like super wide. I did lose a little bit of the height due to bigger box corners. So I think it's still a pretty good size. I will measure it for you guys so you can see how big it is. So from side to side, it's about 21.5 inches. And then from the box corner to the top, it's about 12.5 inches. So it's a really good size, super big. I added one pocket to the inside, and I also added a snap button. I think it turned out super cute. Let me know what you think, and should I put this on my website? This did take me a very long time. It took me 3.5 hours. Super long. I knew it was going to take a long time, but I wasn't expecting that. My other tote bags that I sell usually take me about 2 hours to make. So they are very time consuming, and a patchwork is even more time consuming just because there's more cuts and there's more stitching. I think it was well worth it. Super cute. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you have a joyful and peaceful day. Thank you.